Good morning.
It's a new morning.
Yeah,
It's a new parking lot.
it is a new parking lot.
We're here at the Transportation at Ticket Center
Correct.
for sunrise.
Practically headed to the Magic Kingdom.
We're doing it for extra morning magic hours.
Yeah, we are. I think we're gonna make it there for extra morning magic hours. Or morning extra magic hours.
Whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we're really here.
To do something special. We're very excited. We can't really show you too much. But
We'll tell you afterwards.
yeah.
We're going on the Keys to the Kingdom tour this morning.
Yeah. It's something that we've always wanted to do. Being the Disney nuts that we are. So yeah, super excited to do behind the scenes tour. We know pretty much what to expect going in. It's like a 5-hour tour.
Yeah,
It includes lunch, supposedly,
it does.
and in a bottle of water, I think.
For all that money.
And other than that, we don't really know what else to expect.
I kind of do.
I mean, kind of.
But I'll leave some surprises for you.
Yeah, so.
But as the monorail glides by the early morning hours,
Yeah.
our check-in's at 8:15. It's currently 7:15. So we got an hour.
We have plenty of time.
We'll see if maybe we get a ride in
Yeah, we'll see.
with our ticket. So, you ready to go?
Ready to go?
Let's head to the Magic Kingdom. Inside the Magic Kingdom, I think it's 7:20.
It is 7:26.
Whoa, look at us. No selfies allowed this morning.
Yeah,
It's a no selfie.
Get yourself over here. Oh, we should do Astro Order, but I'm going to do Space instead.
You might have time for both if you really.
We might have time for both. If we're really high-footing it.
Yeah. Everybody else is going to Fantasy Lounge
Yeah.
for Seven Dwarfs.
Or Peter Pan.
Right.
But yeah.
It's all over the place. We're heading into Tomorrowland. We have 45 minutes until we need to check in.
Yeah. I think we potentially could get 2 attractions.
Okay. I don't know. If one of them's space,
Maybe not.
that's a long way away. Here we go, heading into Space Mountain to start the day.
Conditions that could be aggravated by this adventure. Expecting weather should not ride.
That's the best ride of life.
How?
I don't know, it's just so much fun.
It's not even the best ride in Tomorrowland.
What's the best ride in Tomorrowland?
The Transit Authority.
Well, I mean,
I think we all know that.
that's a leisurely ride.
You're a leisurely ride.
That's not like your favorite ride.
It is my favorite ride.
Anyway.
Often. Now, critical decisions
Yeah. What can we accomplish?
in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Not much. Probably off to check in.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you when we get there. And we've decided we can probably get into Star Command headquarters and go on Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin.
That nefarious criminal, the sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance, the evil Emperor Zurg.
Want to avoid cheaters like this one in front of us. You just have to trust me.
I don't.
You have to trust that what I'm saying is the truth.
Prepare to face the full power of my secret weapon.
196. 355.
Mission accomplished, Space Rangers. Check the status board to review your score. And remember, to infinity and beyond.
What happened, Brittany?
lost.
You lost fair and square.
I don't like it.
You just don't know where all the secret hiding spots are.
I don't know where all the 100,000s are.
You would normally you would claim I cheated by reading the book first,
You did.
but I didn't.
Cheater.
I'm not a cheater. I just know where my backup plan is. So, tisk on you. It's going to be a glorious day in the Magic Kingdom.
It is.
You ready for it? Let's go do it.
Very exciting.
So, here's the deal.
Yeah.
From what we've heard.
The lady in the trim.
Yeah, lady. In front of Thomas. Very limited filming from here on out.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it after the tour.
Definitely.
We'll see what we can show right now. But once we check in, I think we're pretty much camera banned. Phones are in the pockets.
Yeah.
Everything, from what I hear.
We're very excited.
How are you? She's so excited she's wandering off.
Well, I was going in.
She left.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Here we go.
See you on the other side. Camera's been off for 5 hours.
A lot to unpack.
Camera's been gone for 5 hours. It was an enjoyable 5, but the phone was in the pocket for 5 hours too.
Yeah. We did, so we did the Keys to the Magic Kingdom tour,
Uh-huh.
which is a 5-hour tour. It does include lunch, I think we said.
Yes. We had Aaron.
We had Aaron, our tour guide. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
He actually sat with us at lunch, which was fun.
Yeah. We got to.
Got to like ask him a few extra little questions here and there. So we did, it was like a mixture of on stage and off stage.
Uh-huh.
They did.
So we started off by basically going down Main Street and the history of Main Street.
And he pointed out several of the windows and important people, Imagineers, that kind of thing.
I'd like to lead this off with the Disney fanatics we are.
Yeah.
I didn't learn a ton.
Okay.
Like a lot of it I knew. It was just kind of cool to set eyes on stuff.
Yeah.
In
and
context.
have it like pointed out for you.
Right.
Specifically. But like if you've watched some of the behind the attractions on Disney Plus or things like that, like a lot of the facts weren't necessarily new, but it was cool to like lay eyes on stuff.
Yeah. And it was nuanced. It's like, yeah, we all know the windows are there. I even have a book that's the windows of Main Street that highlights every single window.
Yeah.
But it's not right there in front of you, and Aaron's telling you what it's about.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, and yeah, we know who Yale Gracie is, and all these Imagineers that made this happen, but it was
still like a really neat experience to like go on the tour.
Right.
And like see it and be told about it as we go.
Right.
And then so we did Main Street into Adventureland.
Uh-huh.
He moved to like talking about some of the attractions specifically, like how
The
they
progression of attractions.
progressed as far as like getting to audio animatronics and things like that.
Yeah, they use that as a really good stepping stone because they went from Swiss Family Robinson, which is just a raw attraction, to Jungle Cruise, which are just standard.
And we got to
animatronics.
ride Jungle Cruise, and then Aaron narrated instead of the traditional narration. We got some like history about the Jungle Cruise and animatronics and things like that in general.
Right.
So it's nice to like be taken like right to the front of the line and get on a ride.
It is. We got a private boat.
Got a private boat for just us. Then after we got off the Jungle Cruise, we kind of circled into Frontierland, and that's where we went backstage.
Right down the parade
route. So we
saw the dwarves disappear. See clip here.
Yeah, we got to see a lot of the parade floats and the buildings where they're like stored and worked on.
We did. I thought we would go inside the buildings, but we did not.
I'm surprised we didn't go inside the buildings.
We had to kind of stay on the outskirts of the buildings.
He points them out and talks.
Thank you.
He talks about them, you know, like a little bit from afar. Some of the buildings are like pavilion-like, so you can like see them parked under there. we get to see the electrical water pageant, like sitting there in the canal. What else do we get to see? Maintenance buildings.
I thought
there.
being that close to the Maleficent float.
Yeah,
a lot of talk of Maleficent float.
Yeah,
and the fire and how it all works.
The prevention of
the corrections they've made.
Previous or like precautions.
You know, on that note, it's interesting to find out like sometimes they make mistakes, like all of us do, and then this is how they fixed it.
It did not work out because Maleficent burned to the ground.
We've made it to the car.
We have. So,
But I thought it was interesting how they were like, well, this didn't work. The thing caught on fire.
Yeah.
So we did this and this instead.
Right. And then I also thought it was interesting to like just see how many benches and chairs and like from different places in the Magic Kingdom were all sitting back there.
And it's like, yeah, this is the parade shop and another like multi-use shop, but I'm sure they got those all around the perimeter.
Yeah.
Like just different things in different places. Where are all the trash cans?
Yeah.
You don't even know.
Right.
Like, so very interesting.
So then we came out, we also learned about trash.
Lots about trash. Well, Aaron was a custodial.
Yeah, so we learned a lot about the trash system. And then we came back on stage and kind of walked through Frontierland into Liberty Square. We got to stop at Columbia Harbor House for lunch. And we put the order in at the very like beginning of the morning, and then they had lunch like already sitting out on tables.
On real plates?
On real plates for us.
Real silverware.
On tables.
Surprise cupcake?
With surprise cupcake for dessert, and then we had little name tags, like little placards to like indicate where we were supposed to sit. That's with a key.
And then boom.
It's a pin.
It's a pin.
That is the keys to the kingdom.
It says Disney's Keys to the Kingdom.
And so we got a key to the kingdom. And like I said, we got to sit with Aaron at lunch, so that was kind of fun. And after lunch, we talked a lot about the Haunted Mansion, specifically Yale Gracie and
Mark Davis,
and a lot of the voice actors.
A lot of background and some cool little facts. And there's like one I did not know about the dancing, the ballroom scene.
What's that?
The book in the ballroom.
About the book.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, and then we
won't spoil the surprise totally. You'll have to take the tour.
We got to ride on the Haunted Mansion again. Took us in the back entrance straight into the stretching room.
Had our own stretching room.
So he kind of talked a little bit through the stretching room scene, which is cool, to get some background info. We got to ride, and then when we got off the ride, we went kind of into Fantasyland.
Another bathroom break, so I thought there were plenty of bathroom breaks.
Yep, he stopped
on this tour
3 or 4 times plus lunch. So yeah, there's definitely bathroom breaks built in. And then, like I said, through Fantasyland, and then we got to go down into the Utilidors.
The coup de grace, as it were.
The coup de grace, right. And
the exciting part, while we're all here. I mean, the parade floats were cool too.
Yeah, I mean, seeing that backstage as well is pretty, and up close and personal is pretty interesting.
And when you enter in Fantasyland, what I found out, or my first initial thoughts is, this must be where all the entertainment is, because it was nothing but entertainment areas.
Yeah.
Where we went down, which was right next to Friar's Nook.
Yeah. And Friar's Nook and Storybook Treats down there.
Right. Which makes sense because that same building shared by the Princess Fairy Tale Hall.
Right. Yes, we saw lots of entertainment cast members down there, and they took us through the costume repair room. That's apparently like 24 hours a day. They're fixing costumes. And then we got to walk around lots of different corridors of the Utilidors.
I feel like we barely scratched the surface of what goes on down there.
Like, oh my god, I was so lost. Like, there are signs down there, but like, you really kind of have no idea where you are, but like, they know where they are because there's like signage and it's all color coded, and so you know where you are.
I mean, what's super interesting is it's like, okay, this is where they do costuming, and this is cosmetology, and this is a currency room, and this is where they clock in for work. And we're like, oh my God, this is where they clock in for work? Like we've never clocked in for a job before. And all these other employees are down there just like clocking in for work.
Yeah.
I'm heading up to Pinocchio's village house to serve pizza for 10 hours.
And then...
But even the break rooms, I'm like, sneaking in there, like,
what you doing on break?
What's the break room? There's just somebody in there eating a bag of Cheetos. So
like any other break room in all of America.
But it's Disney.
But it's Disney World in the Utilidors.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it was very cool to see. Definitely worth like taking the tour alone, probably, because not.
So what we did is we came in through Friar's Nook, and then you go down. We went through the costume repair, and then we went the main corridor. And that main corridor that we took, where he talked a little bit about the castle. He talked a little bit about the castle because we were right underneath the castle.
Yeah.
So that main corridor runs
like
north to south,
up Main Street,
and then
basically.
straight down Main Street.
Yeah.
And then it has that little box around Town Square that we walked around.
Right. And so then we came out of the Utilidors.
No, hold on.
Oh.
Because we got real deep there for a minute.
We did get a little deep.
we got real deep. So he went through and explained the history basically of Walt Disney World through the eyes of Walt and then Roy.
Right.
But included was the heartbreaking parts.
Yes.
Which really, and then he started talking about his own personal experiences.
Yeah.
And what it means to him, and telling a story, and Brittany almost went.
Did I almost cry, or did Doug almost cry?
I was fine.
Yeah, right.
I was fine.
Doug's the crier of the bunch of us.
But it was very
anyway.
nice. I'm not trying to make fun of it.
No.
It was nice. It was nice to see that there are still passionate people in this company that care about guest experience.
I think that the majority of them do really care about guest experience. So even as the parks get like more crowded and sometimes
crazier,
we feel as like,
and the higher ups take away.
Yeah, they don't, like, I think the cast members really do truly care about like getting to interact with people every day.
Yeah, I think
the guests every day.
If we should be mad at anybody, it's the higher ups who keep taking things away to make more money.
Yeah.
Off these cast members that
are
working hard to try and make magic every day.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we came out of the Utilidors and we were on the like backstage road behind Main Street that they use often.
Yeah,
as
they
like
use for fireworks or
exit.
party entrances.
Yeah. And then we.
But to me also, again, it was interesting to see how that's used. Not when guests are back there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just people, like there was a cafeteria right on the other side.
Yeah, the backstage like cafeteria area for the cast members to sit and eat. He said that he, being in a custodial staff, he like learned water art, and he went back to that like pathway corridor to practice his water art before he went on stage to do his first Mickey Mouse. So.
And then he was like, "You're gonna go back on stage, and now you're gonna see it through a whole different light."
Yeah.
And I kind of did.
Yeah.
Like you go back on stage, and everybody's just going around doing their day,
riding rides, and
none the wiser as to what's going on.
Taking pictures of the castle because it's so amazing, you know.
No idea what's going on beneath your feet.
Yeah. So.
In the meantime, there's hundreds of people driving little carts around, and a bazillion water spritzers on shelves. And
yeah, the stock room. I got to like peek into the stock room
for the Emporium.
The Emporium, and the only shelf I saw was just like miles of like the little spray bottles with fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and then it pretty much ended there, like right as we came back out next to Tony's. And yeah, so it was.
Was it worth the money?
Yeah, I think it was definitely worth the money. It was a 5-hour tour that included lunch.
2 attractions.
Riding 2 attractions.
Ish. I mean, it was even better for us because we've ridden the Jungle Cruise a million times.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's cool to have him
like
and
the jokes, but yeah, 2 attractions, lunch. I think the value is certainly there. I think
and the
regularly priced it's $140 $149,
something like that now.
maybe, so like $150,
We
and
were like
then we got an
$120.
annual pass holder discount. Yeah, I think it was like $115, $120, something like that with the annual pass discount. So definitely worth it, I think, either way.
And Aaron was very approachable.
Super. He took a bunch of questions and
would not shy away from the tough questions.
yeah.
You know, like questions I guess, and I mean, this tour, I thought they would still be somewhat on best behavior. You know what I mean? Like, well, we can't talk about that. But no, it was like, we'll talk about it.
There was pretty much no...
There were no boundaries.
The only question he really didn't answer, or he said he couldn't say, was like how many cast members are like on duty at one time.
Right.
Like in the park, I guess. But he did give a number for, not the number of cast members, but the capacity of the park.
Including cast members.
Including cast members.
Was 100,000.
So, was 100,000. So yeah, so he didn't say exactly how many of the 100,000 capacity were specifically cast members, but
they were talking about evacuation routes and evacuation plans, because you see a lot of that signage behind the scenes on what they would do in case of an evacuation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, I guess we should have prefaced this with, if you don't want a ton of spoilers, then don't watch this video.
Right.
But this is pretty much the gist of the tour. So
yeah. So I give it a thumbs up to do once.
Yeah. I would do other tours too. This was the first tour we've ever done. So
and it was a nice break from just doing the park and doing it over and over and over.
Yeah. It makes you like ride Haunted Mansion with a new like lens, because you're like trying to pick out certain
And I guess
things.
the number one question is like, does it ruin the Disney magic for you?
No, I don't think so.
It didn't ruin it for me. I mean,
No.
I'm into that.
No, I mean well, we also like went in with a little bit of knowledge of like
A little bit of knowledge. I mean, I watch all the behind the scenes shows.
Yeah, we watch all the behind the scenes, but like we know the Utilidors exist.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not
like it's not a secret that they're down there. It was just cool to like actually lay eyes to it. So I don't think it changes the fact.
But I mean, I guess you do have the potential, if it's a concern, that there may be a character, and we may have seen some characters.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
not in full costume.
Not in full costume, so they don't say characters, they say friends, right?
Yeah.
So
if that would ruin your day.
Yeah, to know that you maybe just passed Mickey Mouse, but you really don't know that they...
You could tell with the princesses. I could tell with a couple princesses.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't see them.
Okay.
There were a couple that peeked their head around the corner.
Could you tell which princess they were going to be?
By the hair, yeah.
Okay, by the hair.
Yeah, most of them have they don't want to take the hair out when they have it done, so...
Gotcha.
You could tell, like, they makeup and hair.
I saw one girl that was pretty made up.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice her hairstyle, so I couldn't really tell exactly what princess she may have been.
Right.
But
anyway, 2 thumbs up from here.
Yeah.
Tease of the Kingdom tour. We're gonna take a break now. But we hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully the editor does some magic with some, not just us talking. But like, subscribe.
Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
And we will see you
in the parks later this evening. We're back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
Back to eating.
Yeah, we have a lot of Flower Garden to do. So.
Flour and Wine, Spring Edition.
Food and Wine, Spring Edition.
Food and Wine, Spring Edition.
All right, we're out.